Let's get it going, guys. Let's get it going. Let me know if you guys can hear me. It's your boy Zeke in the building, guys. We got the beats going. I see guys coming in. Podcast, college series time is what Rashad says. My guy, Rashad Mitchell. Unfortunately, guys, you guys are not going to get a visual of myself this evening. You'll just get the audio. I'm still trying to find where I put my mic. My camera. I was moving my computer around. I told you guys I move it often throughout the week to different locations, and just can't seem to find where. I'm pretty sure my son put my camera somewhere, so I'll definitely have that ready to go. But you guys will still get me live and direct, and we will get it going. But right now, I'm just letting a couple more guys come in, and I'm just setting up, finishing up a few graphics here. But give me about 5 minutes, guys, and we'll get this thing rocking. Let everybody know we here. You know, share the live. I see you in the building, my boy Rod, JoJo, what's going on? Trident, King Trident, Jaden Sanders, Rashad Mitchell with the word. What's going on with you guys? This is a time to come out and just enjoy the vibes, talk to your boy. Let me know how you've been feeling all week. Let me know how you guys been feeling about the games as well. Just a full-on recap. We can talk high school, college. We can talk future plans, all sorts of things. This is the time to get it done. As you guys all know, I am pretty busy throughout the week handling everything, so this is the time to unwind and get to me. So shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I see Evans popping in. Give me 1 second, guys. We'll get it rolling, but share the link. Let's get it going. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zeke, and we are back, guys. Episode 6 in the College Series podcast is officially here. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to give a shout out to my own brother Rezo for the instrumental for the track that we hear before games, after games, and in podcasts. What's going on, guys? Week 11 is right around the corner. I'm talking We're tipping this thing off tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow night, week 11 gets started. But right now, we're going to get into week 10's action. As we know, week 10 did get a little bit crazy, guys. So we're going to go ahead and capture it and see what's going on. Shout out to Samaj J. Sims in the building. Talon Ross. All of my guys popping out. My boy Triton said, how's the high school series coming along? It's coming along pretty good, man. Still making a few guys, still trying to get everybody acclimated onto their teams and whatnot, but so far it's been looking pretty solid, my boy. I cannot complain here as we continue to get things rolling. Of course, we got the college series as the main series on the docket. Ever since the pros left us, we've been rolling college heavy, and high school will be coming in within, I'm pretty sure I'll start that off, tip that off at the beginning of next month or the end of this month. So just bear with me on that one. We're almost done there. Applications are currently shut. College Series 7 applications are officially open. I will put the new link in the bio at the end of this video here, so you guys will be able to come back and watch this and grab the link from the bio if you're new here. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our hectic week we had here, guys. Week 10, Elijah Carter just tapping in right now. I will keep the music rolling in the background for the aesthetics, for the feel. Big ups to my boy Dre as well for tuning in right now. Damari Jones, my guy. So you all know we kicked this thing off Thursday night as we do so well. But first, let's cover the title. Madden is brewing in the ACC. We got 4 teams, but just 2 spots remain. So this conference has been quite the conference. It's been going crazy all season. We got 4 top teams in the conference that's battling for those 2 spots in a conference championship game. So we gotta watch out for that one now. We gotta watch that one. Again, for you guys tuning in, you're not gonna get a visual of your boy Zeke today. I believe my son hid my camera somewhere. I told you I'd be moving locations, and I'm not quite sure where he put it this week, but I will find it soon, guys, and we will be back on the screen. But for now, we are going to get the vocals still. The audio is going to be solid, and the visuals on screen graphics are going to be great. So moving forward here, guys, again, a lot going on in the ACC. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys have going right now in the ACC? Let's determine right now how we're feeling. I want to jump straight into that, actually, while we before we even jump into our games for the week, because I do just want to look at this standings going into it. He said I've iced 2 games, so you're still good. All good, man. What's going on, JoJo? What's going on? My guy said we taking the ACC. Dior Gore, what's going on as well, brother? So we got Clemson at the top, 7-2, Florida State 6-3, Miami 6-3, and North Carolina 6-3. So these are the 4 teams that we speak of, but only 2 spots here available in the ACC, as Florida State's looking to hang on Miami and North Carolina. All 3 teams are very capable of getting that number 2 spot. I feel like Clemson's got that number 1 spot sewed up. They've been playing some great football as of late, and it's been showing. It's really been paying off for them. Bo Sanders has been tapped in doing his thing. Sean Henry's been looking pretty good as well, and even TSJ, Trevon Simpson Jr., been looking amazing. So, and the defense, of course, has just been doing the lockdown business that they stand on. That's what they knew they were going to do coming in, was the defense. But Thursday night, it was all the Beavers picking up their 4th straight win after coming out with a win against SC and then going in a bit of a slump there. They are now winners of 4 straight games, 5-4 now for Oregon State, as they take down Oklahoma State in week 10, 31-19 at the beginning of last week here on Thursday. CJ Johnson, another solid game here for the young quarterback, 266 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. We had Elias Cortez have a monstrous game, 41 attempts, so just a workhorse at his finest, 204 yards to match that. Connor Brave came away with 5 receptions and 88 yards. So really nice play game from Oregon State. I want to give a shout out to my boy Tyler Price as well. He definitely put in some work during that game as well, and he really did his thing. So big ups to my guy Tyler Price for helping get that win. Then we're going to move over to Oklahoma State. Barnett had a solid game, a lot of heavy yardage here, 343 yards, but just 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Just not going to get it done. Jay Bray, 129 yards for him. Proctor, 84 yards. So they did have some receiver work out there going well for him. But other than that, just not able to get the W here, guys, as they're gonna have to figure out some things. I mean, 2-7 on the season, man. I mean, that's pretty tough. That's pretty tough, man. So I'm not sure about Oklahoma State at this point, but they're gonna have some things to figure out. They might have to try to get some recruits going or something, but right now it's not looking too good for these guys. As we're gonna go ahead and dip over to Friday night action. You guys know I love me some Friday night lights. I really do, and for this Friday we had a treat for you guys. I'm talking an SEC treat. Talk about the conferences that's been going through it, man. Well, SEC is another one of those conferences, up and down, but we did see LSU and Alabama in this SEC matchup, and if you already watched this game, then you already know Samaj Sims and the Tigers came away with the victory Friday night against Bama. So just a much needed win. You know, these guys are going to try to win out. I mean, they've been having, we all know we don't have to harp on the season that these guys have been having. I mean, Aiden Semino is the top leading passer right now. He had 265 yards last week, but he couldn't get any touchdowns rolling. Holden, 116 yards. That's back-to-back games with 100-plus rushing yards for the young freshman running back. And added a touchdown there. He added a touchdown as well. Samaj Sims, welcome back. 5 receptions, 80 yards. This kid's been feeling like he hasn't been getting the looks, hasn't been getting it done, but he did do the job Friday night against Bama's defense, as he did pick up those 80 yards. 26-23 victory, 5-5 for LSU, 5-4 for Bama, and that's likely could possibly be the end of the season for both of these teams. Just when you take into account what the SEC has to offer right now, and I feel like it would be nice to just bring up the conferences too after we talk about some of these big games, because you know, I feel like for LSU to get in, some things would definitely have to happen, and I'm not sure if it's likely here. I mean, we're looking at a stacked SEC right now with just Georgia and Tennessee fighting right now, but it's a lot of potentially great teams in this conference. That's why I say stacked, because you could lose to the first 5 or 6 teams on any given night, maybe even 7 teams, but record-wise they're not holding up, season-wise not holding up. But Georgia and Tennessee right now fighting about that SEC. Then you got Florida, Bama, LSU. So I'm not quite sure if there's a world where LSU sneaks in. I mean, obviously Tennessee and Georgia have to take some huge dives here with a couple weeks left in the season. They'd literally have to lose out, and then things will get really messy in the SEC if that ends up happening. And I'm sure none of us really want that to happen, but if that does happen, it'll get really ugly in the SEC at that point, and we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna call that one. But for right now, Georgia and Tennessee currently leading that SEC, and a lot of controversy behind these spots. In the comments, let me know if you guys agree here. How do you feel? Do you feel like Tennessee should be at the top? I mean, I would love to hear your opinions. Not that it's going to change anything here, but it is still, you know, worthy of something. Worthy inputs. I do value all inputs for, you know, conversational pieces. So I definitely want to know what you guys feel. Of course, Tennessee is going to feel like they should be 1. Of course, Georgia's going to feel like they should be 1. But at the end of the day, they're pretty solid, pretty much the same type of team. It's funny because the quarterback from Tennessee was the quarterback for Georgia last year. So that's what's even more funny when you look at the whole situation here. But, you know, moving forward for Saturday night, we did have a matchup. Actually, we'll go through our Super Saturday first before we touch on our Saturday night game here, as we definitely had our Super Saturday in full effect, full swing as usual, guys. I'm going to throw the scores up on the board. You guys let me know how you felt about some of these games here. Let me know which games kind of shocked you, threw you by surprise and whatnot here, as we go ahead and get rid of this here. And here we are. So we got our 8 games here. Of course, we had a total of 9 on the weekend here, but I will get that Penn State USC game up there after we cover these ones here. But we had Auburn and Tennessee, and this kid Charlie Dotson had himself a night. 7 receptions, 140 yards, and a touchdown. So shout out to the tight end Charlie Dotson, getting it done. Felt like he hadn't been acclimated into the offense as of late, but this is a way to get yourself going here. cover boy right now, 29-7. Moving over to the Ole Miss, big time upset from Ole Miss. This was probably the biggest one of the week, just other than the one I'm gonna say next. But Ole Miss getting their first victory of the season. That's why it was very huge. Quashawn Judkins, the running back there, put up 26 attempts and 105 yards. And then we move on over to Texas A&M getting that big time upset over Oklahoma. This was a shocker. A non-ranked team beating the number 3 team in the nation 24-21 as Amari Daniels put up 28 attempts, 110 yards, and a touchdown. So this kid definitely got it going for Texas A&M, and he ultimately led them to the victory here. And moving on to Oregon versus Washington, we seen Washington almost come away victorious. They were very, very close to getting this huge upset. Oregon almost dropping the ball, but none other than Dalton Armstrong able to lock in on the receiving end and getting touchdown after touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns on the week, 141 yards and 7 receptions. So this generic receiver definitely putting in the work and getting the job done, making sure that these guys are well where they need to be. I mean, that loss would have sucked from Washington. I mean, no shade, but that would have been a tough loss for Oregon, and that might have really hurt them. So big win for Oregon to come away with that one against Washington on the road. Tough jerseys as usual. Moving on to Georgia, Wisconsin. My guy Isaiah Sinclair, looks like it was a nice week for the receivers and tight ends, because moving to another receiver here, 5 receptions for 124 yards and a touchdown here. Even Trustin Stack had a 75 yards and a touchdown. Only 1 reception, but it was a big reception. So it was a nice night for Isaiah Sinclair as they go ahead and defeat Wisconsin. Tough game. Wisconsin gave it their all. Even Winslow was trying to get at it, but in the end, Elijah Carter Jr., freshman cornerback, able to get that interception to really seal the game here for Georgia at home and move them on to a 6-3 record. So as you see, Tennessee and Georgia both victorious last week, and really been talked about in that 1 and 2 spot. So keep your eyes peeled for these 2 teams moving into this next week here as we move on to Clemson and Notre Dame. Another one of those games where Clemson was able to just grind it out, keep things close, lock down defensively until their offense was able to make a move, and the move they made was TSJ. I'm talking bombs away. 79-yard pass from Sean Henry to TSJ for 167 yards on the night total, a touchdown and 8 receptions. So this kid was able to get that big time touchdowns when things were looking a bit stale, and this team was able to walk away with another victory. That's going to be 7 on the season for the Tigers, and they're rolling. I mean, just after a few ups and downs in the beginning of this season, people were kind of doubting this roster. They were saying, oh, what about this guy, what about that guy, why is it not working out? But now we're seeing as the season gets a little old, as the season moves on, Clemson is showing us who they really are, and now up to 7 wins on the season, sitting pretty. Here's NC State, Miami. Deshaun McKnight, or actually I should say Dreshaun McKnight, my boy Dre, D12 himself, put on a display. 163 rushing yards, a touchdown off of, wait a minute, just 16 attempts. Are you kidding me? He had a 70-yard run, just 16 attempts for 163 yards and a touchdown, 10.1 yards a carry. This kid is business only. 5 broken tackles, 100 yards after carry. Like, it's just amazing what he was able to do. He had 4 20-plus yard runs, 4 in one game. So when you look at that whole body of work, this kid put on a crazy display of running the football. And this is a kid who kind of got moved around in the rotation a bit. They brought in AJ Allen to do some starting running back situations there. They brought in Dreshaun for a couple third downs. He's a nice receiving running back as well. So he's been doing his bit of movement, booming around. But when he does get the ball and is ready for him to go and to shine, this is what he's capable of doing. So big time win for Miami and the Dark Knights and the Black Knights, whatever you want to call them. The Hurricanes are game and they're ready to go. 35-16 win over NC State, buried them. And then moving on to Michigan. Of course, Michigan with the huge win, 41-13. Just playing football out of this world right now. It hasn't really been team that can even really compete right now. Obviously, this is all leading up to the big Ohio State game that everybody's waiting for. Of course, that's going to be a game that we just all really can't wait to see, honestly. So just hold on there, guys. We are definitely going to get to that game, man, ASAP. We're going to get to that game as quickly as we can. But for right now, we're going to have to keep seeing if these teams can hold off. Do you think they'll remain undefeated before that final week? You guys let me know. It's 41-13. KJ Smith just having an excellent night. 35 for 43, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He also added a rushing touchdown, so with 4 total touchdowns. So this kid is just incredible player right now. Definitely up for that Mackey Award. He's in the race and he's looking great right now. As we pull up a couple of more scores here, guys, that I wasn't able to get up on the screen here right away for you guys. We didn't have the commentary on that Saturday night game there between Ohio State and UCLA, but we added an extra premier game. So let me just get that one out here on the graphic for you. Let's see, where are we? Here we go. So we got that Iowa-Utah game, again, another blowout, pretty similar score there with Michigan. And then we have that Penn State game in SC. So again, Iowa, Utah, another big night for running back John Smith. 33 attempts, 168 yards rushing and a touchdown. So did his job and helped Utah get this huge win. The defense just played a really great game for Utah. Really helped them get things done because Colorado didn't really throw for nothing major in this game. It was the defense really containing this team, this Iowa team. I'm talking 13 tackles from Schultz. My guy, there was someone who had an interception. There it is. Barton had an interception and a couple other guys as well. I do believe my guy threw 3 interceptions. Yeah, T. Johnson also had an interception. Jaden Domi had 2.5 sacks, 4 TFLs, 6 tackles. So this kid continues his dominance on the defensive end. It's just been incredible to watch this Utes team come over from PFL and still be super effective, still be 7-2 here moving into week 11. So shouts out to the Utes. And also big ups to Penn State, finally getting things rolling again. DeAndre Reese, the running back there, finally able to find some gaps again and rushing for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, and that was going to be off of 34 attempts. So big ups to Penn State. They've been looking a bit slow, stagnant on offense. They've been taking L's, not putting up any points at all. Finally getting up 19 points against a tough offensive team in USC. I'm very shocked to see USC only putting up 10 points on the board. So it's going to be a tough time for SC now in that Pac-12 with Penn State coming away with that victory there, guys. Definitely going to be a tough one there. And we're going to move on over to our Saturday night game here that we had between Ohio State and UCLA. And I'm not sure if you guys were able to catch that game, but it was actually a pretty good game. It was way better than anyone could imagine. UCLA actually gave Ohio State a run for their money, and I know it sounds crazy, but that is exactly what happened, my friends, as Ohio State was able to come away with the 23-16 victory. Arturo Flores just had himself a field day, 7 receptions, 103 yards for 2 touchdowns. Apollo Stone was slowed down. This kid's normally a beast, easy 150 to 200 yards, but that night he was 19 attempts off 80 yards. Dylan Lewis still, again, one of those MVP candidates, or I should say Heisman candidates. Mackey, 27 for 43, one of his more off nights on efficiency, but he did still reel in 327 yards and 2 touchdowns with no interceptions to lead Ohio State to a 9-0 record on the season. 23-16 victory. UCLA falling to 4-5 as Steele with 76 yards and a touchdown, and Ryan with 94 yards. So this team here, Ohio State, still undefeated, winning their 20th straight victory in the college series. So of course, still pushing up that all-time streak as high as they can go right now at 20-0. Basically, off their last 20 games, they haven't lost one game. This is going to be one epic game. I don't know if there's been a more epic or bigger game. You guys let me know in the comments. if there's been a more anticipated, hyped up game than this Ohio State Michigan game that's coming up soon here in CS6. But if there has been one, this has to be in the top 3, because boy, I know we all can't wait to see when Ohio State takes the field against Michigan. That is going to be the game to see, guys. Let me know in the comments though, who do you have winning that game when Ohio State and Michigan finally clash? I'm talking clash of the Titans. I'm talking the Giants collide. I don't understand what's going to happen in that game, but I hope you guys are there to witness it, because it is going to be madness. I got to be on my A game in the booth that night, because I plan to show out. I plan to show up and show out that night. I'm just letting you know, if you don't plan to hear me go crazy in the booth that night, don't come, because it's going to be a show. And I can't wait, because whoever wins that game and whoever loses, is going to be madness on either side. We're going to hear all types of excuses. We're going to hear all types of Zeke this, Zeke that. You better believe it. So I just can't wait. I think after that game's over, I'm just going to turn my computer off. I don't want to hear nothing for 2 days. That got to be a Monday night, so I can take some time off, and I'll see y'all Thursday. I think I'm about to cancel the podcast that week too. I'm gonna be scared to face y'all boys. Oh my goodness, I can't wait for that game, man. Seriously, I can't. But moving along, guys. So we didn't, he said, nah, stick around. So we didn't have a game Sunday night, guys, due to family activities. But like I said, we did bring you that Ohio State UCLA game. And then last but not least, we closed out the week, guys, with that Monday night game. And that was between our guys, Texas and Colorado, and the kid, KC Robinson and Jackson Belt, able to get it done once more as they take down the Buffs in Boulder. So home field, not much of an advantage here for the Buffs as they go down 27-10. 4-5 now for Colorado. Pretty interesting season, up and down season. A lot of potential over there. They just need a few more weapons and they can be a complete team that can really compete in that Big 12. But right now, Texas has the Big 12 sold up along with Oklahoma. Texas right now looking a little stronger than the Sooners, especially offensively. 27-10 victory. KC 20 for 25, throwing daggers all over the field right there. Just 5 missed targets, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Belt with 38 attempts with 150 yards, and Matthew Thompson, always calling him Webb from PFL, but Matthew Thompson, 5 receptions for 66 yards. Tim Ricks, on the other hand, had one of those struggling nights until the end of the game. He was able to connect on a few deep passes, went 18 for 30, 213, a touchdown and interception. Dylan Edwards, story of the night. Texas defense shutting down stud running back Dylan Edwards. He's been 140 plus for the last 2 to 3 weeks. They held him to 16 attempts and 45 yards rushing. That is insane. KJ Wiley doing what he does best, 5 receptions, 98 yards, and a touchdown. So Colorado not able to get it done. Had a lot of moments, had a lot of opportunities where they probably could have chipped away and got back into this game, but ultimately they weren't able to capitalize on the mistakes of Texas, and it cost them. And it cost them a 27-10 ball game. Very big loss here for Colorado. They were looking to go 5-4. Now they're going to fall to 4-5. So they were trying to compete and stay up there with Oregon State. Remember, we had those two teams kind of hand in hand earlier in the season as new programs coming into the series here. But right now you can flip the records around. Oregon State 5-4, Colorado 4-5. Big ups to KC Robinson, Jackson Belt, couple of PFL guys coming over to Texas, making it happen. 7-3 right now, week 10 going into week 11. So I'm not mad at that at all. I am not mad at that at all, guys, as we definitely want to check out. Let me get rid of these games here. Bring that theme song back in again. Shout out to my brother for producing that one right there. It is definitely a banger. I got to get some bars down on it, y'all. Y'all let me know if somebody want to feature on this joint. I know we got a couple rappers. So yeah, let me know. We get something going on. But let's check out this top 25 here, guys, going into week 11, man. Shout out to everybody still here, 18 strong still. Go ahead, hit that like button, guys, as we drop the week 11 college series top 25. Of course, Ohio State still chilling at number 1, 9-0. Michigan 9-0 as well, but Clemson, Utah, both teams fighting here, 7-2 for Clemson and Utah. And again, just crazy coming from the PFL and seeing these two teams in particular. Most of that Clemson team was on the Utah team, so it's just crazy to see them all at the top right now. and even a couple of those Michigan guys sprinkled in. So 2, 3, and 4 just got me smiling right now. Just imagine all those guys on one team. Then you'd understand the madness. But Texas coming in at 5 here. Oklahoma, Florida State, Miami, Georgia. Remember, Miami and Georgia starting off really tough this season. Had some very slow starts early on this season, and it's crazy to see them both at 6-3. It's like they've been neck and neck, hand in hand all season. One was ranked 24, the other was 25. One was 16, the other was 17. One is now 9, one is 10. So Miami and Georgia, they are, what my boy Stephen A say, Georgia, they are both on pace right now, both trying to step up in their conferences. Georgia at number 1 right now. Miami, I do believe they're number 3 right now in the ACC. And speaking of the ACC, we got North Carolina. So it's a lot of things going on with that 9 through 12 right there. Those 6-3 teams, 9 through 12 is really tough in their conferences when you speak of teams like Georgia, Tennessee, Miami, Florida State, North Carolina. So 8 through 12, very pivotal for those teams right now to get victories. One loss could really mess up either of those teams from 8 through 12 right now, especially in their conferences. Oklahoma's a bit more safe in that Big 12 with Texas. They could take that number 2 spot. So I point out Florida State through Tennessee because those are very crucial teams right now that if they do take a loss, they're in trouble. Same with Oregon and Utah. They can do a loss and still be fine and stay in that 1-2 spot. So really pay attention to 8 through 12 this week. And it's going to get crazy, I'm telling you. Now over to 14 through 25, those teams, unfortunately, like I said, unless something crazy happens, they are probably going to miss out on the fun in the conference tournament. We will see if some teams are still going to be available for bowl games once the season is done. But we got Florida, Penn State, Oregon State, USC, LSU being the team to stand out the most on this right side of the screen. Colorado, UCLA, Michigan State, Iowa, Texas A&M, TCU, and Oklahoma State. Now, question, which of these teams on the right or on the left, which of the teams on the left should be on the right for LSU? Because I know a lot of people thought and assumed LSU was going to be top teams coming in. So which team on that left is surprising you right now and taking the spot of LSU? I would love to know that. Who would you guys have expected not to be on this left side? Is it Florida State? Is it North Carolina? Is it Oklahoma? Because it's crazy because a lot of people had high hopes for Carolina when they got all those players, and then all those players dipped to Clemson, and then North Carolina's still sitting here with almost the same record as Clemson. I can't make it up, I promise you. So shout out to the Tar Heels, man, for ultimately still getting it done with their generics after losing an overhaul of players. It's just incredible to see North Carolina still doing what they do. So big ups to those guys. But I definitely would love to know which team you think LSU could have been or you would have thought would have been over when this season started, man, because it's really getting ugly out here for all teams involved as we get on over. Oh, they dipped over to Michigan. That's right. See that Clemson, Michigan, that whole thing, Tar Heels, the whole thing is fuzzy. It's all, but let's bring up the conference standings once more, guys. We're gonna check these out again before we get out of here today. But we do got the SEC standings here going. We also get to some questions afterwards, guys. I just want to definitely cover all the points here before we get to that point here. But let's check out the standings. We got SEC, of course. We talked about this a little earlier. Georgia, Tennessee, currently at the top of the top. It could go either way. If you ask me, take your pick. But right now, Georgia is going to be holding that number 1 spot, while Tennessee's coming in a close second. Florida and Bama, they are both fighting as well. They still could possibly get in with a loss or two from both of these teams up top. And LSU waiting in the cut to see if somebody's going to drop the ball. As long as they win out, they're just going to try to give it a shot and hope for the best here. But you got to win ball games to even give it a shot. Go back to that ACC, really tough conference right now. Clemson, Florida State, Miami, and North Carolina. They are the ones that are covering the story today. That's what the story is tonight. 4 teams, but only 2 spots. Which of these 6-3 teams going to get it done and meet up with Clemson most likely in that ACC Conference Championship? Is it Miami? Is it FSU? Or is it Carolina? You guys let me know in the chat who makes it to that game against Clemson. because right now it seems Clemson has that on lock. As we go over to the Big Ten, and of course Ohio State, Michigan, there's pretty much nothing to talk about here when it comes to this conference. Just no disrespect to any of the other teams. It's just that these are the two teams that are going to clash in the conference finals. And at the end of the day, we're lucky, guys, because yeah, we get them the last week of the regular season, but guess what? We're going to turn around and get them right again in the conference championship, right? So we're going to get 2 straight games of those guys going at it. And it's a possible 1-1 split, 2-0, 0-2. What do you guys call it in the air? You calling a 0-2? You calling a 1-1? You calling a 2-0? Talk to me, because I just thought about that. We're going to get these guys again in that championship for the conference of the Big Ten. So, I mean, they're just completely running away with the conference here. Obviously, 2 undefeated teams left in the whole nation in the same conference. This is for, hopefully they stay undefeated when they meet for the first time. But again, when they meet for the second time, one of them will have a loss on their belt. So that is going to be fun to see over the next few weeks. These 2 teams go at it a couple of times after not seeing each other all season long. It's going to be interesting to watch. Let me know in the comments, who do you guys have coming away with the wins in those games? As we move over to the Big 12 here with Texas and Oklahoma running the pack. Again, I think they have this one on lock now at this point. Unless Oklahoma drops a couple of games and Colorado wins a couple, I don't see things changing much here, as well as Texas and Oklahoma sitting pretty. TCU, Oklahoma State, and Texas A&M down below. Texas A&M with a big win over Oklahoma, though, last week, but still not going to be strong enough to wheel themselves over to the left side of the screen here. As we move on to the Pac-12. That should be the last conference actually to cover, which is a tough conference too. Oregon State, USC neck and neck right now. UCLA is a scary team as well when they want to be. USC scary when they want to be offensively. Oregon State definitely scary when they want to be. 4 games in a row right now, trying to go for 5 straight wins. This is a team, if they can get 6-4, they start closing that gap. The worst thing that can happen is Oregon losing that 4th loss, getting that 4th loss for Oregon. That would be the worst thing right now, because then we'd have to start looking. I know it'd be 7-4 and 6-4, but we'd have to start looking, because that'd be 5 straight for the Beavers. And Utah sitting pretty up top. They shouldn't have anything to worry about here. They could lose 2 games and still be in good shape for either the 1 or 2 spot here. But right now, keep our eyes on the 2 teams from Oregon. These 2 teams are going to be very interesting to watch over the next couple of weeks and see how their season unfolds. Definitely want to see how that plays out here as we go ahead and check out. You know what I want to do? I want to bring out my offensive player of the week and my defensive player of the week. I feel like we got to show these guys some love really quick. So let's go ahead and do that. KJ Smith and Legend Bell Jr. are going to go and take the awards for the week. Week 10, KJ had himself a day, 352 passing yards, 4 total touchdowns. That's 3 passing, 1 rushing on 81% completion. Just an amazing game, man. No interceptions, no turnovers for this young kid. It's going to be his 2nd Player of the Week award this season, and as he leads Michigan to a 9-0 record. And over on the other side, LSU getting a big-time win, much needed. Legend Bell being a big part of that victory. 10 tackles, an interception, and a forced fumble. He also had a tackle for a loss as well, or maybe 2. So this kid was just a hound, just a ball hawk out there this week for LSU, helping these guys ultimately get the victory as he takes home the Defensive Player of the Week award, as both of these guys put on a show. So definitely clap it up for these guys. Definitely show them love in the comments, because these 2 guys definitely did what it takes to get the victory for both of their teams. As we set up the close out here, guys, with the schedule, Week 11 schedule is finally here. So let's tap in and see what it's all about. Week 11, guys, is here. We are going to be starting off tomorrow. ACC matchup, and I'm talking about a big one. We got number 9 Miami versus number 8 Florida State. Do not miss this one. It's a Florida showdown, guys. It's a Florida Thursday night showdown, and it's a big one. I'm talking 2 6-3 teams, just like what we talked about. Things are about to start getting a little messy. Well, the ACC is going to change with this game right here. We're going to see if Miami can go on the road, keep up that great play. Offense was looking pretty strong last week against Florida State, who they've been rolling as well. Haven't really heard too much from them as of late. They took a tough loss. Then they kind of got quiet. Couple of quiet wins, and they're back this week looking to headhunt. They're going to be at home at the crib against Miami, so that's going to be a tough one. Then you got Oregon State, Tennessee coming Friday night lights. Another big game here. Big game for both teams. SEC sitting in the second space for Tennessee, right behind Georgia. Oregon State sitting in that third spot in the Pac-12. We just talked about how important these next couple of weeks are for these teams. So big games that you're seeing right here, Thursday and Friday night. Then to kick off the Super Saturday, we got Texas A&M and Auburn moving over to Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Washington, Oklahoma State, Mississippi State, Florida, Georgia, Ole Miss. Georgia's got to handle business. Remember, we just seen Ole Miss take down. I believe that was who was that we just seen them take down, guys? Help me out in the comments really quick. I'm gonna probably find it before you, but Florida, right? So we seen Ole Miss take down Florida. We just seen them take down Florida. So you got to be very careful because they definitely could get at Georgia in a way that, you know, might catch them off guard a little bit there. So Georgia's got to come with their A game. Iowa, North Carolina, another ACC team, 6-3, fighting right now in that Miami race. So Clemson race. This is the team. They cannot take a loss to Iowa. Nyshawn Miller and these guys, they've been feeling it. Shady Houston, they've been feeling a little down. They feel like they're better than what they've been displaying, taking a couple of losses lately, and they're looking to come back out with a big-time win. Just took a horrible loss last week. Really wasn't expecting it, but they're coming out here week 11 against North Carolina, looking to do damage in a packed Durham or a packed where they at, Chapel Hill crowd. So big ups to Iowa. And hopefully they can go ahead and get it done. UNC, all generic teams, they've been getting it done with Ronnie Marks and company. But hopefully Nyshawn Miller and Tyler Bishop and Shady Houston and these guys, MVG, can get it going. TCU, Alabama, looking to go ahead and add another win to their belt. They can just hang on and do their job against TCU. They'll be fine. Ohio State, Michigan State, of course, we're all expecting Ohio State to get their 21st win in a row. But don't sleep on that Michigan State team right there. Really tough game right there. When you consider that it's going to be conference play. Conference play games are always tough, no matter the team. So we're going to probably see a scrappy game from Michigan State. Don't sleep on Michigan State. And then NC State, Clemson, going to have a game as well. NC State, another one of those teams that's going to fight you. They might sneak you, so you got to watch them. But I do believe Clemson will hold strong and grab their 8th win of the season. Utah, UCLA, same here. I feel like Utah is going to grab their 8th win of the season as well. They're going to go ahead and knock off Pac-12 opponent UCLA. UCLA hadn't been playing too tough lately. Tough losses at home. Another game at home here against the number 4 team in the nation. Just got them falling. Oklahoma, Colorado. We always saying Colorado are looking good. They're in these good games. They're on the live TV. They're on the big screen. But they haven't been performing. And from last week's performance, I'm a little scared. I'm a little nervous, but they will be on the big stage yet again here. Looking at Saturday night. Again, no game Sunday this week. Looking at Saturday night, 9 p.m. for Oklahoma, Colorado, and back-to-back games up in Boulder. Let's see if the Buffaloes can get it done against Donnie Johnson and company. The Sooners coming in with a top rank, number 7 to be exact, number 2 in the Big 12. So another conference matchup here for them, and Colorado could use a huge win against their Big 12 foe. And we're gonna wrap up the week 11 with Penn State, Michigan. So Michigan on the spotlight, big game of the week here for Michigan. Penn State, another one of those tough teams that you got to look out for. They did have a game against Ohio State on a Monday, and Ohio State just completely obliterated them to get that winning streak over Georgia, but to make history. But this time it's Michigan's turn to handle Penn State. So let's see how they fare against the Nittany Lions compared to Ohio State, as both 1 and 2 are on the docket for this week in action. Michigan being the team with the primetime game. Ohio State's going to be premiering Saturday. So you guys make sure you tune into all of these games. Looking like a crazy week, another week of madness. So you don't want to miss any of these games, because each game has a lot behind it, holds a lot of weight, and it's going to be a lot of moving around. So you guys make sure you get in, tomorrow night, tune into that Miami, Florida State. Should be a classic ACC matchup. Then we're going to move Friday over to that Oregon State, Tennessee. Should be another juggernaut matchup. And then, like I said, Oklahoma, Colorado, Penn State, Michigan, guys. And without further ado, that is going to be it for our episode 6, guys. I've had a great time here. It's been a lot to cover, but guys, we are getting to it. Week 11 is here. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, man. High school series again, guys. I'm still trying to get cooking on that. I got a lot on my plate right now with dealing with the whole college series. I'm doing all the graphics, all the posting, all the recording, all the commentating, and also high school. So I'm trying to get everything in order. And then also I'm trying to get ready for CS7. So it's been a lot, but I'm handling it. I'm doing what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for the culture. I'm here for the community. So, you know, just bear with me on a lot of these things, but I am here for the long haul and I am here to get the work done. So any questions, go ahead and let me know. I'll stick around for like another 5 minutes for you guys as we just listen to a few beats here, a few tunes, and we go ahead and get out of here and wrap up for tonight, guys, and we get ready for tomorrow night's kickoff. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know, Bo. Kong Morris, Dag, I was hoping to play on my birthday. When's your birthday, bro? For sure, my boy Holiday, man. Yeah, I hope y'all here, man. Just stick with me, man. You already know how I get down, and you know how I love the high school series. So, you know when I do get it going, it's gonna go. So, you know, just hang with me, hang tight. You know, make sure we all on deck. Make sure we got hands, you know, ready to help out. Because when it gets rolling, I'm gonna be needing, you know, help from a lot of you guys. So, but we're almost there. You know, we're almost there. Kong Morris said tomorrow. Oh, so you wanted to pop out tomorrow? Yeah, unfortunately, you guys don't have a prime time this week going up against those Spartans. But you know, we'll try to make something special for you. We'll try to get something done for you. Nice little graphic or something. But you know, make sure you guys shout out to Kong Morris tomorrow in the community on his birthday, man. Let's get some love in there. But yeah, Bo, yeah, I gotta get you in there, Bo. I gotta get you on this Photoshop, man, because that's the only thing I'm using. So, you know, I don't want to go backwards or anything. I just want to keep focusing on this. That way I can just keep mastering this whole process. So if you can get in on this, brother, then, you know, you can come and join me, because trust me, it's a lot of work. All these graphics and having to post and do all this stuff. It's cool, you know, I'm gonna do it, but it does get a lot for sure. You know, like just before this podcast, I was cooking up the schedule graphic and you know, just doing a lot, you know. But if I can get like a couple more hands on deck with graphics and things of that nature, then we'd be good, man. We'd be good. But yeah, so just DM me and I'll holler at you. But yeah, guys, I am going to get out of here soon. I'll say by the end of this song, I'll be signing out. I will be signing out by the end. So any questions, anything on your mind, guys, let me know. This is the best time to catch me. You know, those DMs are tough for me. This is a night where I normally do check all my DMs, but we will be assigning college bucks tonight as well too. My boy Jason will be on the job in the Discord. Make sure you guys follow Instagram at RFL College Series, at RFL High School. And yeah, man, much love to you guys. It's Zeke here, and I'll see you soon. Peace.